isolation. Number 4, shame. Shame yẹn tiẹ̀ bad. Shame yẹn bad. I know that shame. Oh God. 5, emptiness. You will feel empty. You will feel empty no matter what you do. Self-destruct. Now let's go. From my teenage years until I was 36, self-sex was a part of my life. I got married at age 26. Like the others who responded to Dr. Hart's survey, I didn't think I could have said enjoyment was why I did it. I'm telling you a story of a man. The emotional hangover lasts much longer than the pleasure. Sometimes for days when the act was over, there was always a strong sense that something was missing. I will read again. Sometimes for days when the act was over, there was always a strong sense that something was missing. Tó bá ṣe lónìí 2-3 days sometimes wàá ṣì máa feel pé there is emptiness in you. Then you won't feel like I'm looking. Sometimes you just I'm looking for something. What is it? What is this? What is it? God help us. God help us. God will help us. Sex is about connection and communication. Spirit to spirit communion with the person we love. When I masturbated, there was no other person. So emotional misfire took place. I will read again. Sex is about connection and communication. Spirit to spirit. Communion with the person we love. Nígbà tí ó bá jẹ́ pé ìwọ nìkan ló ń sopí, tó dẹ̀ pé o ní láti gbá nǹkan sí nǹkan pẹ̀lú ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni, then emotional misfire máa dìde. What is emotional misfire? Now, instead of you to have connection, after sex sometimes you feel loved. You are wà tún wò pé ọmọ yìí máa tún dùn yàtọ̀, ìyàwó mi máa tún ṣe kíní yàtọ̀. After sex there are some things that you will feel happy. There are some joys, emotions. You will feel emotional connected to your spouse, to your wife. But when you soapy and you masturbate, emotional connection, there is no emotional connection. There is no spirit to spirit. It's just one spirit. And from there, emotional misfire máa jáde. God will help us. Instead of bonding with another in warmth, intimacy and love, I was haunted by loneliness. Instead of you to bond pẹ̀lú okay kò ṣe wọ nìkan, ẹ̀yin méjì ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bára yín sùn tán tẹ́ ní connection tán, you can you guys can talk, chill, enjoy the moment, but there is nothing like that in masturbation. Ìwọ nìkan náà ni. Then loneliness, you will feel empty, lonely, and emotional misfire will take place. God will help us. So instead of buzzing with another warm intimacy and love, I was haunted by loneliness, isolation, and shame. There isn't anything about masturbation that fits. Kò sí nǹkan kan nínú ẹ̀ tó fit. There is nothing. When I tried to disconnect the spiritual from the physical, telling myself I needed masturbation just for physical release, I still feel empty afterwards. Sometimes when you want to justify your action that what you did, you did it for yourself, what about your spirit? What about you will still feel empty afterwards. The spirit component of sex can't be separated from the physical. That is why you feel all these things. If sex is about when two spirits comes together, matches with the body, fine, bam, everywhere is soft. But when your spirit is not connected with a body. tó yẹ pé ìwọ nìkan náà is your own body, you will feel empty. That is where problem will comes in. That is where problem will comes in. Masturbation messed up my marriage bed. I didn't struggle with premature ejaculation. We are not talking about premature ejaculation here o lè pé lọ́mọkùnrin kó sì máa struggle pẹ̀lú sexual life ẹ. If you have premature ejaculation jẹ́ pé òun tètè ń kàn mọ́ tètè, go to my previous video, just scroll down my YouTube, wò ó resolution bẹ́ẹ̀, ìyẹn kọ́ là ń sọ. This masturbation something doesn't have anything to do with premature ejaculation in terms of marriage and all. But I could have pleased my wife a lot longer than I did. It's no accident when sex between husband and wife is a short story. It's what the husband trains himself to do when he masturbates. As a masturbator, it will be very hard for you to satisfy your wife even if you don't have premature ejaculation. Àṣírí ni mo sọ fún ọ. Tó bá yẹ pé ojoojúmọ́ sopi which I'm talking out of experience, my own personal experience. If you are a masturbator, it will be very hard for you to satisfy your wife in bed. It will be very hard. The man who masturbates robs his wife himself. No, let me read again. The man who masturbates robs his wife of himself. Ọkùnrin tó masturbate, you rob your wife of yourself. O shit ìyàwó ẹ fún ara ẹ. Quick question: what does it mean to rob your wife of yourself? 1. Emotional unavailability. Emotional unavailability. You won't be available emotionally because all your emotions and everything ó ti bàjẹ́, ó ti lọ dà sínú. Sáré fi ṣe 2 seconds. Ó ti fi sopi. You might be physically present but emotionally absent, making it difficult for your wife to connect with you on a deep level. You might be in the same house, you might be sleeping on the same bed, you might not be emotionally available. And that will damage your sexual life, even your marriage and your relationship, whatever you have. Number 2, lack of intimacy. This refers to a decline not just in physical intimacy but also in emotional and intellectual intimacy. I know we all know intimacy, so I won't talk much on this. Mo kàn fẹ́ brief. These are the points I write myself and just for us to enjoy this section. Number 3, withholding affection and attention. Failing to provide the affection, affirmation and quality time that she needs to feel loved and valued in the relationship. You won't have time for you. She won't even enjoy you even tó bá wà lára. Number 4, prioritizing other things. When you prioritize your friends, your work, your everything over your marriage, over your relationship, constantly putting work, hobbies, friends or other interests ahead of the time and energy required in your marriage. The time you must give your marriage time. Bó ṣe fún iṣẹ́ ní time, tó fáwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ní time, your hobbies ní time, you must give your marriage to time. It's not about going out, it's not about buying her gifts, it's not about time. Sometimes you need to just sit her down and just cuddle, talk nonsense with her. You don't need to make sense. Just be in same room or your parlour where you just gist ẹ lè má ṣèké. So whatever you do, just make sure that you give her time, not because of her, because of yourself. Number 5, loss of shared identity. Loss of shared identity. The two of you may have grown apart and you are no longer contributing to the shared identity and goals of the partnership. Eléyìí ti gbà bí, eléyìí ti gbà bí, olúkálùkù yín ẹ̀ ní, you don't bring any sense to the relationship anymore. Ẹ kàn fẹ́ra yín for ìfẹ́ yín sake ni, and it will actually affect you sexually. The man who masturbates robs his wife, okay, àti sọ yẹn, but I can just brief. The man who masturbates robs his wife of himself. She wants emotional and physical intimacy, not just a rush to the finish line. Not just a the rush to the finish line. Redobo, no kissing, no touching, no cuddle, no talking, no romance. Just spread your leg, baba go in, ṣe 5 minutes ló fẹ́ ṣe 2 seconds ló fẹ́ ṣe gbúrú ó ti kọ. That is very wrong. You have robbed your wife, you have robbed yourself emotional intimacy. Foreplay, that's why I always say foreplay is very very important in your sex life. Foreplay is very very important, very very important. No kissing, no hugging, no talking, no kò múra ẹ̀ ṣe, no swinging swinging. Oko bàbá le, òbòyàgùn, ó ti ṣí, spread, gbam, you don enter, you don come out. What is that? Is she a toy to you? Not just a rush to the finish line. She wants to know him and for him to hold her, commune with her and cherish her, not use her like a plaything. She wants to enjoy his company like two best friends having a good meal. That's just it. Masturbation stunted my emotional growth. Emotionally gan ò ní grow. Opening up with my wife on a deeper level got harder as times went on. Ìgbàlẹ̀ máa ní àdúrí dáàdì dínú jáde òun sọ tinú wọn fún yọ. No! Ẹ bá wọ́ọ̀ṣì ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá wọ́ọ̀ṣì dáàdì ń sopí. Dáàdì tó bá ti ń dínú jù tó jẹ́ pé kò kí ń lahùn fún ìyàwó. So she don't operate with her wife on a deeper level tó jẹ́ pé always you are alone. Daddy is doing soapy, mommy should wash. Because it will be very hard for you to be able to open up to your wife to the point where it felt like I was running from her at times. I spent so much time in isolation that I felt trapped inside, yet I was the one holding myself hostage. Ìwọ ló tún máa hold ara ẹ hostage o, because number one, guilt, shame ó ti wà ń bẹ̀ already. Then you won't be able to open up to your wife or your spouse. Then you hold yourself hostage. Look at the likes of Golom tí mo ti explain tẹ́lẹ̀. Instead of you to enjoy the benefit of the orbit tó jẹ́ drink your beer and live your life, you went to a misty mountain and isolate yourself from every other thing, eating raw fish and raw whatever it's eating, and become radarada tó dà because of what? The ring. I was blinded to what my precious was doing to me. Like Golem was blinded to what precious was doing to him. So if you are a masturbator, you will be blinded with what that few seconds pleasure is giving you. I was self and sex obsessed, driven by urge. If I couldn't have my precious, I got angry, anxious, or depressed. Sex was my God, comfort, and love, the source of life. Some of you cannot do without masturbating 3-4 times a day, because what? You are so obsessed with it. Any small deal like this, you have rushed to bathroom anywhere, even you are in bank. I want to use toilet, you show me the way to toilet, kó ẹ tútù lé God, ẹpọn ẹ tútù. You will be so upset that nowhere you won't be able to soapy. God will help us. You will be ó máa bínú ni tó bá ti ríbi dà sí. God will help us. I think the worst part was the separation from the Lord I experienced when I made a few seconds of pleasure my source of life and acceptance. Then even in terms of your religion, ó máa máa jìnnà sọ́lọ́run. Ìwọ tó jẹ́ pé ṣebí ti fẹ́ ba ayé ẹ jẹ́, ó máa máa jìnnà sọ́lọ́run. Even if you are going to church, if you are doing all that, if you are doing Muslim or whatever you are doing, because you will be all the time tó máa máa rò nìyẹn, precious, just to soapy. That's the only thing you will be thinking about. That is the only thing you will be thinking about. I think the worst part was the separation from the Lord I experienced when I made a few seconds of pleasures my source of life and acceptance. I knew Jesus had living water that could fill my spirit, but I drank from myself instead. Sound like a little sick, doesn't it? When you drink water from yourself instead of from Jesus. That is, you are sick, yo. I grieved the Lord with my choice to make sex my comfort. When Jesus said, I am your comfort, but now you make sex your God and you turn it to your own comfort. Like, when you are so obsessed with self-sex, which is masturbation, then you are telling Jesus that, God, you are not my God anymore. You are not my father anymore. This is my daddy now. This is my God now. This is my comfort. You are not my comforter anymore. When Jesus said, I am your comforter, he said, no, this is my comforter, which is very bad. May God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Of course, the other obvious problem with masturbation is that many men use it with pornography, and they run sexual fantasies in their mind during the act. From Jesus' words in Matthew 5 verse 28, we know this is sin, mixing self with lust. Matthew 5:28 says, we know this is sin, mixing self-sex with lust. àwọn ọkùnrin mi máa ń we watch pornography lórí phone or wherever just to come. Sometimes they create a sex fantasy in their head just to masturbate. This is how most guys do it. But I will urge us today, please do your best. I will still post more. We are not done yet, but I think this video is too long, so I will stop from here and I will continue other time, so that I will still talk about how to stop, what you will do to stop and all. I will still talk about it, but please just Ejo, don't be too obsessed with something. Even if it's not masturbation, don't be too obsessed with something. It's a very dangerous obsession. Is a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous devil. Look at that Gollum in that movie. Look at Gollum. Look at his life afterwards. After picking up the rings, going to the mystery mountain, now it turns to something. This is how masturbation kills, guys. And from the research I made, 96% of men under the age of 20 are masturbating, which is very sad. And at the end of the day, their marital life become crumble. It's not just about the sex alone. Look at the things masturbation can bring. Shame and all. So please. So once again, my name is Rasta Monibili. Make sure you like, share, comment on my video and follow for more. Thank you.